Oh, everyone, we're back again to take you around the news streams to see what took place and what is still taking place right now as we speak. So, Atiku was in Abuja yesterday on with his crews, PDP crew and the losers crew, to do some formal demonstrations whatsoever. So, but some people are, you know, trying to, it's really just doing you know, a last round of walk around, within the Abuja seat of power before he disappeared to Islamabad. So let's see how it took place. So he was there with some notable PDP men and women from all over, from all walks of life. So here are they.
They call for the cancellation of the election's results.
We are here to demand the cancellation of that election on the 25th. And that is the only answer for our country, Nigeria. Because as far as we are concerned, INEC, we contested this election against INEC, not against APC.
At the INEC headquarters, security officials barricade the entrance as the protesters approach. The gate of the commission was later closed as protesters took over the entrance. Here, the PDP national chairman submits the protest letter to the national commissioner in charge of voter education, Mr. Festus Okoye.
The commission belongs to the Nigerian people, and whatever grievances there are, we will look into all those grievances. If there are grievances that can be redressed, we will redress those grievances.
For the PDP presidential candidate, this protest will be sustained.
We are protesting and we have the right to protest under the Constitution. It doesn't stop us from going to court, the fact that we are protesting. In fact, this protest is going to continue either every day or every other day.
Besides this protest, the PDP is also in court to challenge the outcome of the February 25 presidential election.
You see the face of a loser. I think he's desperate. You can see it in his face. He said he was ready to demonstrate every day. Are you sure that that is attainable? For a man like that to, instead of him to go and attend to his head, like we heard the other time that he was severely, you know, in a situation whereby he have to really attend to his head. He's fighting there for his political survival. These people they are really, 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 really desperate this time around. So, like Tinubu, what was it Tinubu that said it or his spokesperson or what have you? He said the man should stop all this Kirikou dance, you know, and go back to Dubai. So I think anyone who knows him should at least tell him what you have to do that is best for him. But if you choose to sleep there on an next gate, day in, day out, it's allowed. Why not? It's just a constitutional, constitutional, right to do whatever thing that he please. But you should not use this problem to deter others for going, going about their own businesses, going about their own appointments and things like that. Because blocking that road alone can cause a lot of havoc to a pregnant woman who is being rushed to the hospital, or to an elderly who is being rushed to the, to care, or to any other person that is going for an emergency and stuff like that, even disturbing the police and disturbing the peace as well. So if you want to take it to court and do the right thing there. Because I'm only laughing because the last time when he lost to Buhari, He didn't do much. There was no demonstration or anything like that. What they did was to go to court, and when the court refused to, to even listen to some of his plea and what have you and things like that, he never took it more than that. He never went more than. In fact, never even spoke much. So he just allowed it to slide because he was hoping that in 2023 that he was going to use every means, every resources that he had to wrang off the power from the south, whereby hoping and banking that the North will give him their absolute support. He was thinking that maybe with the Northern support only that he was going to go far. Then with a scamper of the Southern support here and there, you know, then he will scale through. That was what he was actually hoping for. So, but that was not actually what happened. We all know what happened. So, at the end of the day, somebody came out from nowhere that they never expected. You know, that was Obi. He changed the game for them because first they tried to change the game for the South by making Tambuwa, because Tambuwa was a part of the plan right from day one. You know, Tambuwa, Wike, and Atiku, Kwakwaso. They were all in these blocks of gang before the presidential primary, you know, selection or election or what have you. So, but at the end of the day, at the last minute, the North were able to convince Tambuwa to step down for Atiku because hasn't it hasn't it I mean happened that way, then everyone was sure that Wike will have emerged. I'm not a fan of Wike by any means, especially now that a lot of things has been revealed about him, and how he betrayed Peter Obi and things like that. Because the only thing that I love Wike for before now was that he was championing the cause of the South, that the presidency must come to the South after the 8 years of the North, in power. That was the only thing, and his developmental stride in River State and things like that. So, but now that he betrayed a fellow Southerner or a fellow Easterner, I would say, because the Port Harcourt or River State of today is supposed to be from the old Eastern region. So, and then so now that he has betrayed the fellow, uh, Southerner or a Southeasterner, like I said before, I really see him as a really big betrayer because it's all about himself, self-centered as to what he can get, not actually what River State people can get. Because if you ask River State people what they will want, what they will have chosen, or what they wanted, then you're supposed to go along with their vote and see that the River State people voted for Labour Party for Peter Obi as their presidential candidate. So if he has used his influence also in the South also, to influence the other states, etc., maybe Obi will have won massively. Although Obi won all over the South, you know, massively, but he will have won much more distinctly, if you get what I mean. So that is the case. So, but now, to come back to the matter at hand. So, Wike, Tambuwa, Kwakwaso, and Peter Obi, and Atiku, they were all the PDP before this time. Okay, and what we had is that, okay, um, they asked, what do you call him, Tambuwa was asked to step down for for Atiku at the last minute, and as well went back to the podium after giving his last speech, because usually every candidate was allowed a certain amount of times to give out their speeches before the vote ensued. So this man has already given out his last speech. Then all of a sudden, he came back for the second time after he was pressured by some northern what have you. Maybe they promised him, maybe Minister of Justice or Minister of whatever, you know, or Minister of whatever it is. Then he just came back again to come and make another announcement. This time around, campaign for for the other candidate, which is Atiku. So because usually you're not supposed to campaign on that day again because the campaign has already ended. So they were only there to vote. So now campaign. So what I mean by that is that he came out and said those who were in line to vote for him because he must have already used money to buy some, some porters and voters and candidates and things like that. So he said, so he was telling them plainly that they should cast their vote for Atiku. Do you get the point? That they should cast their vote for Atiku. So that was how Atiku was able to beat uh, Governor Wike to emerge the candidate of the North, I would say, which is now, of the PDP. You know, so this thing really hurts so many people, even hurts every weekend then, because I remember after this thing, then so sorry before I get carried away. So like I said, that was what happened during the Ego Square. I don't know if Ego Square where they made the presidential this thing. But before then, Kwankwaso has left the party PDP when they saw what was coming. Then Obi left the party also to go to Labour. Kwankwaso went to go and join NNPP. You know, in order for them to have their own you know their own shot at the presidency. So that was how Obi left PDP and Kwankwaso left PDP. So now it was Obi, sorry, it was now Wike and Atiku that was left there. So, but Atiku, a day later, went to Wike. We saw them in the news, etc. Then what came out from that meeting was that he went there to go and tell Wike that Wike will be his vice. So that is in order to sweeten some pain and things like that. So, but all of a sudden, he turned around to go ahead and take Okowa, Delta State governor, to be his vice. Okowa that have teeth that cannot bite. Okowa can't even. Everyone knows Okowa as a political neophyte, as far as even Delta State is concerned. So how can somebody like Okowa, even if you have all the money in the world, garner that support that the PDP needs from the south, for Atiku to have won? So from the beginning, Atiku has already failed because first of all, he took the mandate that belonged to the south according to the unwritten agreement that the parties do have. So he took it and he gave it to the south by force, to the north. Took it from the south and take it to the north. So and the Southerners were already angry about that. And the Southern governors and other Southern leaders already have a standing on this by saying that the South must produce a certain president. This man knows all these things. So perhaps he thought that these people were just making noise, that as soon as he goes around, his own area there, he'll be able to, pressure his own people to, to recite whatever language that he chooses. Because most of these people, like we all know, they always, when it comes to politics, that is when they remember their religion or their ethnic, lineages, people, to give them their own support. So they've been doing it over the years. It has been working out for them until this time around. So it still worked to to a proportion. So, but this time something happened. So something gave birth to something, which is how Peter Obi and the Labour Party movement came about. So that was how the obedience movement was born. So when the obedience movement came on, then they changed the whole political terrain. So because the youth mobilized, because they saw something, and they saw something and they tried to fight against some injustices that they've experienced over the years. So with over time, now we now see what that has brought. So I think this time around, this thing has turned around so many, you know, so many perspectives on how the people actually see the Nigerian politics. And if care is not taken with what with things that the things that just transpired this time around, especially. I mean, with the how the beaver system and the EREV system, and the transmitting and what have you came about. Uh, Undermining with INEC announcing the results, undermining, you know, the commission's the INEC own constitution or the INEC own rules and regulations that these things have to be done in certain ways. So, and this man chose to do it in a very different way. So, if there is law in the land and if there is justice in the land, soon we will know, because we know that justice these days are purchased in Nigeria. You know, so if you have money, you can actually purchase justice as far as Nigeria is concerned when it comes to politics. Because a lot of things has happened over the years that made us to open that has opened our eyes. So what I'm saying is that if care is not taken and the youth or the people lose interest in these so-called electioneering processes, then the whole thing will be nothing. So, which means the whole system will be crushed and quashed. It's as simple as that. So, let's hope that at the end of the day, they will use their own law and their own rules, you know, as applied to everything else, so that when they are trying to rule on issues, then they will rule according to so. It was supposed to be like this. Then, as long as you deviate from this, then you're already out of you're already out. I mean, you out of order. So therefore, we don't have to prejudge what the judges will bring out, because, like they are professionals. Sometimes they can be, sometimes they can be bought, sometimes they can be threatened. To rule on some issues. So but meanwhile, Atiku is not the one wearing black with his crew. Dino Melaye and so many others, they will all parade themselves in the streets of Abuja, you know, demonstrating. So I don't know what they're demonstrating for, but at the end of the day, we shall see. Let them go to court and let the court do the main thing. And from then on, then we know what to what more to expect. So that's where I see for now. So, but let me see if they are still doing some demo there and stuff.
Meanwhile, INEC is asking the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to modify the order earlier granted the candidates of the PDP and Labour Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi, to inspect the material used for the presidential election. In a motion and notice filed on March the 4th, the electoral body is praying the court to vary the order which restrained it from tampering with material used for the election. The Commission said it needed to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for the next round of elections. The Court of Appeal Abuja had on February the 3rd granted the request of the presidential candidates, the PDP and Labour Party, to have access to all the sensitive material INEC deployed for the conduct of the presidential election. They maintained that the requested documents would aid their petition against the outcome of the contest that was declared in favor of the candidate of the APC.
So, as you just heard again, now, after the PDP and Labour Party asked the court to allow them to inspect the materials that was used, and then to carry out some forensic, inspection and what have you, to be sure of what actually transpired. All of a sudden, INEC has now gone to court again to try to stop that process of for saying that, hey, give us time first to, we need to, we need to. It's like saying we need to calibrate. You need to calibrate the system again, the beaver system and every other system. So this is not new. If they say if they ask for something like that on another time, at another time on another date. But they are saying what they are trying to do here is to block PDP and Labour Party from having access to these materials, to the beavers and the IREV. You understand? Before before they be allowed to come in and look at these things. So what is that? What does that tell you? That has told that has said a lot of things about what actually transpired. Because now what they are trying to do, actually, from the analysis of so many people, is that they are trying to go back there before allowing labor, and in fact, maybe they are doing it right now as we speak, because they already know that the court has already granted this, you know, this waiver to Labour and PDP, to have access to these materials. So what they are trying to, what the analysis are is that they are trying to tamper with those materials, to make sure that everything corresponds with what they already have on ground, etc. Because most of these things must have been done in a hurry, after all, if actually that the other parties actually won. So it's like maybe they just put all these things in one warehouse, throw the boxes there, without knowing that something like this will just come up. And now this thing just coming up here. Like, hey, boy, what do we do now? And we have to go back there and just, it's like trying to rearrange a crime scene, before the investigators, get in there, to try to see what actually took place. So they are trying to tamper with the evidence. That's what people are saying. So actually, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make gives the people, that confidence that they once have in this Beavers and IRF and things like that, or even the INEC himself. So, but if I were to say anything, or if what I say we have any meaning, I would like just say sack this INEC chairman right away, or ask him to resign right away, and he should do so, because the credibility of the whole process is already in doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think, and we'd like to hear from you. Please subscribe to our channel. We need more subscribers, please. We really want to grow this channel so that we'll be able to disseminate credible informations, as at when due, to the public and to the populace. So stay blessed. God bless you. Give us a like and comment and subscribe. Bless you. Bye.